Hi everyone, welcome to another X-Wing Initial Impressions video. Today we are going to be looking at a Phantom Menace, the Sith Infiltrator expansion pack for X-Wing. So I'll pull up the web page right now, and we have this pretty chunky looking model. I do really like it actually. It looks pretty impressive. I like the subtlety on the greys and like the like the paneling isn't exact, but I really like it. Anyway, yeah, I'll not go too deep on the paint scheme, but yeah, I think it's going to fit really well in with the faction, the look of the vulture droids and everything else. Um, then we'll move on, take a quick look at the dial, which is surprisingly impressive for what I think is a large base ship. If you look at the actual sizes, I think it's going to be a large base. But it's got the one herds, even though they're red, they're still pretty good. It has the white one forwards and the white one bank. Then it has two sloops. It has the two herd turns, which are white, the two blue banks, and two blue straight. So a decent amount of blue already. We get into the threes. It's got the three herd turns, which are white banks, and then a blue 3 straight. It has a 4 straight, and it has a 5k. So this is on the large base, like I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when you look at the sizing of those nubs, I'm pretty sure this is a large base. It might even say in the icon, I just missed it because I'm stupid. But we'll get there, we'll get there. If it is on the 5, the large base, of 5k turns actually pretty good. I remember first edition flying the what do you call it? The VCX 100, the Ghost. Lots of cool stuff you can do at 5k, and then having those two swoop movements as well is actually really good. Then let's get into some of the cards that they spoil. We have Darth Maul. So he is Initiative 5. We've spoiled this already in one of our previous initial impressions video, but I'm going to go through him again anyway. It is 3 attack, 1 agility, 6 hull, 4 shields. He has 3 force points, has a focus action, target lock, and a red barrel roll. The ability, after you perform an attack, you may spend 2 force to perform a bonus primary attack against a different target. If your attack missed, you may perform that bonus primary attack against the same target instead. So, kind of a cross between that old-fashioned gunner, but also, even if you hit, you can then still take a second shot at a different target. So, pretty damn good, actually. I really like that. Can help you spread a little bit of damage across as your swarm's engaging. We're going to go on to like uses, I think, for this ship at the end, but stay with us for that part. And it talks about having hate, because obviously you do have to spend 2 charges on him to actually use this ability. So it will be in every other turn. So you'll get the first turn of using it if you haven't spent any force, and then you only regenerate 1, so you'll go back up to 2, use it again, be down to 0. So you can get 2 good turns of using Maul if you keep him full before the initial engagement, and then after that it starts taking time. With only 1 agility, hey, it's probably a decent bet. It's only 3 points for hate at the moment, so you can throw that on him and have fun. Then, the bit I'm pretty excited for here, the Scimitar title. It is Sith Infiltrator, Separatist Sith Infiltrator, just in case, I don't know. It has set up after you place forces step. So after the place forces step, you may cloak. It's not a cloak action, so you don't stress yourself, but you get a cloak token. It's pretty cool. After you decloak, you may choose an enemy ship in your bullseye arc. If you do, it gains 1 jam token, and it's got a white jam on the card as well. So bullseyeing with a large base can be trickier. If you set up for an initial joust, you will probably get people in your bullseye. It will be interesting to see how useful it is, but bullseye abilities aren't always easiest with a large base, is what I'm probably trying to say. And then we go on to Count Dooku. He only comes in at Initiative 3, but this is really good. After you defend, if the attacker is in your firing arc, you may spend 1 force charge to remove 1 of your blue or red tokens. After you perform an attack that hits, you may spend one I can't even read. You may spend one force charge to perform an attack. I'm doing the old struggling to read symbols again. So there's a couple of interesting things I like about this. You can do if you've got a scimitar title on him, shows in the article you can remove your blue cloak. Then you can still shoot afterwards because you're a relatively low initiative at 3, so you can get some good shots out there. And then after you perform the attack, if you hit, you can do an action. So you could potentially um, quote come into return quote to take your focus, or I'd probably say focus because you're going to have 3 agility because you're quote. They're going to shoot at you. You can then defend. Then you spend your force to decloak. Then you can shoot. Well, so you just remove a token. You don't decloak, so there's no repositioning. Then you can shoot if in your initiative step. If you hit, you can recloak and have all of the fun in the world later on in the turn. Back up to good agility. Quote again for a later round. So it kind of has that old Phantom feel of like the advanced cloaking device from first edition. You get your attack off and you recloak, but you never have that window unless there's multiple ships at the same initiative step shooting you. Again, you can always save it for the last one. I don't think it's going to be too overpowered because it's going to cost you 2 force to pull this trick off. It's going to stress you at the end of it because the cloak action was red. But again, I'm pretty happy with this. It seems pretty cool. Lots of things you can do. As well as that, you can always spend a token to like remove a stress, any of the red tokens, stuff like that. So other uses, but that was the one that jumped out at me that I can get shot while I'm cloaked, decloak, and then attack and recloak after attacking if I hit you. So I thought that was fairly cool. Then where are we? The Chancellor Palpatine Darth Sidious combo. So it's finally properly spoiled. But it is a double-sided card. It is Republic or Separatist. You always equip him as Chancellor Palpatine. It gives you 1 force and a purple coordinate. After you defend, if the attacker is at range 0 to 2, you may spend 1 force. If you do, the attacker gains 1 stress token. And then during the end phase, you may flip this card. So if you flip him, it becomes Darth Sidious. There is no going back from this. There's no mechanic to turn him back into Chancellor Palpatine. He again still gives you 1 force, still gives you a purple coordinate, but after you perform a purple coordinate action, the ship you coordinate gains 1 stress token, then it gains 1 focus token or recovers 1 force. So I'm not 100% yet. Recovering the force is really good. That's going to be awesome in the Jedi side, ironically. Coordinating onto your Jedis with your purple coordinate and then giving them force back. It's going to be pretty cool. I don't know exactly. You do stress the ship you're doing it on, but yeah, there's loads of different options here, but topping up someone's force is pretty strong, especially when you look at all the different force abilities and all of the pilot abilities that the force carriers have are all pretty good. Okay, I think that's enough on Palpatine. Let's move on to Dooku Crew. This one is one of my favorite art pieces from Destiny. It looks very smug. I'm a big fan. Before a ship at range 0 to 2 rolls attack or defense die, if all of your force charges are active, you may spend 1 force charge and name a result. If the roll does not contain a named result, the ship must change 1 die to that result. So it's old-fashioned Palpatine, but with a range limit. It's only 0 to 2 now, not the entire table. And you have a caveat of all of your force charges needing to be activated. So, needing to be active, sorry. So, I think that this personally works better on a non-force using pilot, where you're just putting this on, and you only have the 1 force charge, because then it's going to come back every turn. So, from start through to the end phase, you're going to be able to do this if needed, or you can have it as a passive mod. I don't know why you would have it as a passive mod if you're being shot. I feel like it's always better to spend it to get the guaranteed result, unless you're going to use it on your opponent's die. When they run over rock, you can say crit. When they run over debris, you can say crit. All of that fun stuff. But for the most part, thinking of just using him on your own ships, I think that it's probably going to work best on like I said, a non-force using pilot. That's where I'd be looking to put him. But really like this card. I feel like the range restrictions bring it down in power quite a lot. You can't just hide him on the other side of the table and still influence the entire game. And also that caveat of having to have all of your charges active is pretty restrictive as well. Then we can look at General Grievous. While you defend, after the neutralize result step, if there are 2 or more hit or crit results, you may spend 1 charge to cancel 1 hit or crit result. After a friendly ship is destroyed, you can recover 1 charge, and it natively only has 1. So this one is after the step, so you can't take it down to no hits, but you can definitely get some decent mileage out of this. The base ship itself was 10 hit points, I think. Yeah, 6 hull, 4 shield. So taking it down, you're basically gaining an extra hit, and if they decide to shoot at your droids, then it'll keep recharging. So my worry for the card is obviously if you just focus down Grievous, it's 1 extra hit, and he's probably going to cost more than a hull upgrade. Or even if he doesn't cost more than a hull upgrade, if he's the same. Well, okay, let's put myself out there. If I guess at like between 3 and 5 points for Grievous as a crew option, because the crew slot's quite valuable as it is. It's probably more valuable than a modification slot, and it's got that caveat of it only defends against 2 hits, so you're still taking some damage. I definitely think there's some value there, but if you just focus down Grievous's ship first, it could be a liability more than anything, just adding points, until we get to some of these other upgrades, which are super good fun. I'm going to skip ahead and just look at. So this guy, while a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 defense, it may spend 1 calculate token. If it does, it adds 1 evade result unless the attacker chooses to gain 1 stress token. So you can have him in the backfield, not really doing anything, and Grievous is there to protect him. And you're also protecting your swarm, so you're getting some really, really interesting mechanical interactions there. And a cheap pilot like 066, I think it is. After you defend, you may spend 1 calculate token to perform an action. Well, it's okay, but you get to take the calculate. It's a cheaper ship, and it lets you influence everything else. So I'm pretty happy with that. It seems pretty good. Then it talks about Dark Courier as another pilot. This looks like it's the cheapest one, non-limited pilot, and it's still going to focus rather than the calculator. It doesn't synergize quite as well. But if you're looking to have some backfield where you can mess around with the probe droids that they talk about, really, really interesting. And this is where it starts to build up picture of having Grievous in the, depending on how many crew slots there are, having Grievous, and maybe you get to have, I forgot his name again, Count Dooku, both on the ship if it's got 2 crew slots. And it's just going to sit in the backfield, giving yourself rerolls for your swarm. You can launch out these probe droids, and they let you jam people and do loads of funky stuff. I'm pretty excited for it. With DRK1 probe droids, or Dark 1 probe droids, look pretty cool. I'm really excited to not necessarily target lock side of it, that's useful, but definitely being able to jam from weird and wonderful situations like we're showing here, being out of range. Because the problem with jam for me has always been if you're limited to range 1, I'm probably getting shot. So I'm trading not having any defenses for you not having any mods for your offenses, which is fine, but natively the dice are better on offense than defense. So is it worth it? Who knows? But when when it's not me getting shot and I'm not wasting my action because you're not shooting at me, I can jam you off and it benefits my swarm. And this is where the interesting thing with like the second edition rules, where you can only have 8 ships, becomes pretty important because it now means you could potentially have enough points for like a 6 ship swarm and then still have a decent, even if it's only a dark courier, couple of crew on there, get some of these probe droids into play, and now you've got some really interesting interactions that should hopefully make up for the lackluster performance that we're expecting to see from those droid fighters. So I'm really excited for this ship. I'm probably only going to get one for now. Um, I don't know it's something I'm going to be running multiples of. I definitely want to try that swarm side of it, but it definitely feels like that's where the faction identity is going to be. It's going to be that swarm of droid fighters, and then you have these different support ships, whether it's a Bubble Lab or the Sith Infiltrator. But this one is the kind of list that interests me the most. The Sith Infiltrator with a tactical relay on that, and then just all droid fighters. And yeah, I don't know. I really want to do a Jedi, but there's all, there's something there. I'm sure that there is something there that's going to bring the swarms into play and make them viable. And as much of it gives me a headache, like round 3, round 4 at a tournament, trying to run the bigger swarms like I used to. Um, I, there's there's an undeniable sense of fun when you're doing it. So yeah, I think I'll not be the only person on board with this idea. Let me know what you think about this ship. If there's any combos you're really looking forward to seeing. And yeah, but that's it, folks. I mean, I'm sorry I've been pretty behind on these videos. I try and get them out a lot sooner. My wife and the baby are still in the UK at the moment, so I could jump on and do this one. But hopefully, I'll be more productive. I've been relatively good in the last 2 weeks while I've been away, getting all the odd jobs done. A lot of the painting commissions are now caught up on. I'm making reviews videos again. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me some thumbs up, leave some comments, let me know what you're thinking about for these. And yeah, if you would like to support the content, you can jump on the Patreon. We have some giveaways and stuff like that coming through. And just check it all out. And thank you again for watching.